What's happening, everybody? We have a very, very, very special guest to talk to now. Most of the times you get to talk to coaching legends, it's well after their run. Right now, we're basically talking in honor of the Michael Jordan documentary going on. We're talking to Phil Jackson, basically. We're Coach Brennan Dean from Torrey Pines. He is the male coach of the year. Congratulations. Your volleyball team ended the season #1 in technically the nation, but I'll say the world, the solar system. There was no better volleyball team. Eighth championship in 9 years, so a ton of success for you. Congratulations. I mean, you've been a couple months removed now, but what's still sticking with you from this last season?
Yeah, well, thanks. I really appreciate the accolade and you guys having me on. Gosh, the kids, it's really just such a great group of girls that were so hardworking and determined and totally committed. It's the things I remember most is just all of their personalities and their drive. So it was fun to be a part of it with them, but they deserve all the credit.
Let's just tweak that just a little bit because somebody has to organize all of this talent and figure out the way to bring the best out of it. I mean, are we talking about this was 1 year of work? This was 2 years? Like this was this almost like with your particular senior class? Was this a 4 year grind to get to this moment, or I mean, or are we talking 10 years because these all started when they
Yeah,
were 12? What?
yeah. No, I do believe it was a 9 year period of developing a culture in the program of excellence, of incredibly high standards that senior leadership wouldn't tolerate anything but less. And that took some time, but they bought in. And, we needed a little luck as far as like the path or, injuries and schedule and stuff like that. And this was our year. So couldn't have been more prouder of them.
You mentioned the senior leadership and over time, for you, you have to see growth happen in such a cool way of seeing these girls go from freshmen to their seniors. They've got college scholarships. I'm sure you now have some of them starting to have graduated from college. So with this group specifically, I mean, just talk about some of the growth that you get to see as a coach because you see them day to day. We only see the finished product.
Yeah, I mean, knowing these kids when they were freshmen, some of them were playing different positions. Some of them have gone through just a lot as far as managing their academics and their athletics and just personal life and college applications and everything else. So there's a lot to overcome for all of these high school students. They not only just grew physically as far as taller, stronger, faster, but just the mental edge side and taking care of the little things. These seniors, you could tell they weren't going out and doing inappropriate stuff. They were getting their sleep, they were eating right, they were doing the little things that paid off big at the end.
So, how much of your coaching, and maybe there's not an exact answer to this, but what's the breakdown of this percentage of my time is really spent actually X's and O's with this scheme, and this percentage of my time is spent just coaching them up on here's the right way to act, here's the right way to conduct yourself?
Yeah, the percentage changes as the year goes on. We do put our staff a lot of influence on just making good decisions, being grateful, not being entitled, being humble, being thankful. So we do discuss that probably on a daily basis. We really also just try to make really strong relationships with these kids. We know these kids will run through walls for the coaching staff if the team knows that the coaching staff cares about them. And we hold them to an incredibly high standard, but we're able to do that because they know that we're people and we care about them. We want to see them successful, but we also want to make sure that things are going well in their lives and their families, their relationships, their grades, their teachers. All of that is so important to create a strong unit.
For you, is this something that you had a coach that did that to you? Where did you learn or appreciate that aspect of coaching?
Yeah, I think my background and first career was being a high school counselor. So I started in the office at Torrey Pines, just working with kids on the personal social side. And I had a coach who still volunteers at the program, who's a legend, Dan Lyman, and he taught the importance of connecting with athletes in a positive way. And he did that with me, and that changed my life. And I want to do that for other kids too, is so that they know that they could reach out to me if they ever needed any like support or help or things like that. And it's there's some really cool articles that Steve Kerr's written about joy, about champions need to have fun, they need to enjoy what they're doing, and without that joy, you're not going to get the most out of them. So we talk a lot about, hey, tell me what you're thankful for today. Tell me what made you happy today. And we see those practices being stronger than others.
But the joy has to also come from, you can hold up your finger and there's a big fat ring on it at the end of the season. Whoa. The sparkle on that thing, though, is real. Also, I got to say, that's a lot bigger than the ring that we saw at the Salute to the Champions dinner with the girls wearing. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we did to get a different model for the male coaches, but I've always told the girls, like, we're not buying rings for CIF championships, even though we get, it's a huge accomplishment, and I don't want to take away from anyone who has, but our goal was state. So this is the first ring that we've ever bought for our program.
Well, it's state, but it's also technically you were assigned the #1 national ranking. Can you tell us what you remember from that day? How you found out? Was it an email, a phone call? I mean, was it a bolt from of lightning from heaven, and you're like, ah? What was that day like for you?
Yeah, there was. It was pretty cool. There's like 3 or 4 grading systems for the national championship, and we were fortunate enough to get #1 in all of them. So when the first one came out, I kind of thought it was a fluke, but when the other 2 came in, I was just flabbergasted and just couldn't be more excited to share it with the team and the parents and the school and the community, and former coaches like Dan Lyman and Lars Troop and Jim Hara. Those are just legends at our school. So it was an exciting thing to share, not only with the team, but the community and our alumni base.
Well, I was going to ask you kind of about the bigger ripple effects, because it almost has to feel like that was a reflection of all the work the last 10 years almost of people pitching in. So thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We really love the fact that, local talent stays local, builds local, and gives back to the community in the way that you have. We really appreciate you. Congratulations on being named the Coach of the Year. I'm assuming that there's nothing higher than national champions, but maybe international champions next year. Call it? No.
We will go for it.
Maybe that turns from a ring into like a full chain. Like we'll just get you a giant falcon made out of diamonds hanging from your neck at the end of all this.
I'll wear it once a year for you.
Deal, Coach. We really appreciate that. We appreciate all that you do for San Diego high school sports. Congratulations again. Thanks. Folks, when we get out of all this, go check out Torrey Pines girls volleyball, because they're the best. That's about it. That's all you can say. Thank you, Coach. Have a great day.
Thank you so much.